I believe there are some really simple things that you can do to be a better storyteller. And I also think that they're not what you think they're going to be. If you want more storytelling tips and techniques, subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be creating a new video every single week to help you become a better storyteller and to engage and connect with audiences. Hi there, my name is Dr. Megan Adams, and I am a professor of digital storytelling. I teach video production marketing, PR, and writing, but my specialty and my area of research is in digital storytelling. I've also been a television journalist and a marketer, so I come from all these different areas, and my passion is really I want to help people tell better stories. It's what I love to do with my students, but I created this YouTube channel so that I can help you do that as well, because I believe the world will be a better place when we learn to understand each other and each other's perspectives better. So in this video, I'm going to give you 4 habits that I think that you can develop to become a better storyteller. And I think the thing about a habit that is really cool is that once you develop a habit, it's something that you can do more naturally, and it comes off as kind of effortless. So a habit is something that you don't really think about. So these are things that you probably haven't heard before, but I think that they're really going to help you become a better storyteller, whether that's, you want to become better in communicating with other people or giving a presentation or telling a media story. I think that these things are things that you can do in your everyday life that are just going to make you better. Okay, so the first one is pretty obvious, but it's that practice makes perfect. And I really think that this is important because for whatever reason, I think people have this idea of people who do creative work, so people who write or people who create filmmakers like video stories or, people who are speakers. I think that they just think it comes naturally, like, oh, this person has this natural ability to speak well. And most of the people that I've talked to or people that I know or people that I follow, when you see an inside look, every single one of those people will say, absolutely not. When I started out, oh my gosh, it was horrible. And I would say that my experience was very much the same. When I started out in journalism, if I showed some of my first tapes or first stories that I did, it's just cringeworthy. And so the analogy that I really like to share with students to help this hit home, and I hope it lands with you and helps you, is that if you were playing a sport, you would not expect to go out in a game with no practice and no effort and just hit every single shot, right? If you're in a basketball game or a football game, you don't expect to catch a ball, right? Maybe you played soccer. And playing an instrument, you wouldn't expect to pick up a guitar and just start strumming along. I mean, it takes practice and it takes effort. And much of the same way, storytelling is absolutely a craft. And so to be better at it, you're going to have to be intentional about getting better, and you're going to have to practice so that when you do find a great story or when you do stumble upon a great opportunity, that you are ready for it. And so practice really does make perfect. This applies very much to any type of storytelling technique or any type of storytelling piece that you want to do. You're not just going to be able to pick up your iPhone and create an impactful video. You're going to have to be intentional and thoughtful. And the really cool thing about it, just like anything else, is that the more you do it, again, like I said, the more intentional you are about getting better at your craft, the better you're going to get. And that's really cool. Okay, my second tip or habit for you is to really, when you create a story, do it in a way that it's something that you would want to see, hear, or view. So if you are writing a speech or giving a presentation or even writing any type of paper, whatever, right? Any story that you're creating, if it's something that you feel that you wouldn't watch through the end, how can you expect an audience to watch it through the end, right? So do the work that inspires you. Do the work that entertains you. Always think of your audience, but try to put yourself in the shoes of your audience. Like I said, if it's not something that you're going to interact with, the likelihood of anyone else interacting with it is slim to none. And so again, I think this is a habit that you can very easily get into as you work to create stuff. Just start asking yourself and be able to be honest with yourself and say, sometimes I know this is hard. Sometimes I've created stuff and I watch it, I'm like, oh, this was such a great idea and I loved it, but it's not working out, the second you put someone on camera or you're on camera, sometimes it just doesn't look the way you want. And so to be better, to go back to my first point, you're going to have to be really honest with yourself, and you're going to have to kill some material. You're going to have to let some stuff go because You want to hold yourself to a high standard. And that standard, at a bare minimum, should be something that you actually want to engage with and that you care about. My third tip is to be inspired by others. One thing that I love about the internet is its ability to help us connect to one another. So just like this video that I'm creating for you, my hope in doing this and telling these stories to you is that I can be inspired by you all, that I can find my people out here in the world, and the internet's a great tool to do that. So this third tip has to do with being inspired by others. Find your people. Like, find people around you. Maybe they're not in your immediate vicinity, but I would start there, people that you can talk to face to face. But if they're not, find them, connect with them. Be inspired by what other people are doing. I think so much anymore we start to fall into comparison. And I think that can be really crippling. But I think if you can see, you can watch something and be inspired by it because it moved you, or you hear a speech and you're like, wow. Instead of letting that kind of cripple you and say, oh no, I'm not there yet, I could never do what this person does. Like, let it inspire you to be your best self and really believe you have something to offer. Your story and your perspective and your talent is something that this world absolutely needs. So the first step is to believe in that, and instead of, again, this is a tip, if it can become a habit, something that you do naturally and effortlessly, I think it's going to help you create really powerful work. So I want to know, who are the storytellers, who are the filmmakers, who are the people motivating others, who are the speech makers, who are those people out there that motivate and inspire you? Drop me a comment below so we can all share, and I think this could be a really cool moment and hopefully a really powerful moment to check yourself maybe and just say, I'm not going to compare myself to this person, but man, I'm going to let them inspire and drive me, and maybe someday I'll actually work with and connect to that person. So again, leave me a comment and let me know who that person is for you. My fourth tip goes along with tips number 1, 2, and 3, but it is be motivated and become self-aware about your own strengths and weaknesses. And this applies to anything that you want to do, but I think it especially applies to becoming a better storyteller, because I think many of us, I should say, we go out into the world and we want to create this thing, we put all this effort into it, and then we just hope that if we keep doing it, we're going to get better. But that certainly is not the truth. Again, storytelling is a craft, so once you can start to identify where your own strengths and weaknesses are, you can hone in and just become better. So you can use your strengths to your advantage, and you can work on your weaknesses or the things that you want to do better. And so I think having a self-awareness to do that, and again, making it a habit so that it does become somewhat effortless, that you are constantly working on your craft when it comes to storytelling, it's going to make you better. So one easy thing to pay attention to is your audience and engagement and tracking how well you're doing it, and to just not give up. Just like anything else, don't give up. Keep creating, keep working, keep doing. But the more intentional you can be about it and the more strategic, the quicker you're going to get better. If you like these tips, please join my Facebook group. I have created a Facebook group especially for women who are storytellers. So these are women writers, speakers, women marketers, women working in nonprofits, anybody who wants to be better at storytelling and is a woman, please join my group. It's called Sisters in Storytelling, aka SIS, and this is a group of professional women. We are coming together to learn and encourage and support and help our stories and our perspective get out in the world. If you value this content, please subscribe to my channel or watch some of the videos I already have here, because I'm going to be putting out content every week to help you become a better storyteller.